Hello again, everyone. Well, I think this past Memorial Day I saw X-Men: Days of Future Past, and I can definitely say I loved it. And definitely I can say that the X-Men definitely is making a more of a case that's still how I mean something in a also maybe it was post like a movie climate than Amazing Spider-Man 2 did in my opinion. That given how it's not only an adaptation that has a very well regarded comic book arc got the same name, but also manages to prove to be a very good crossover between both the main universe that have been going on ever since first one 2000. So it's kind of missing here. I do have a DVD of it, but among my other ones, and also the First Class universe, and here it is starting hitting in 2011 with X-Men First Class, which and I think for quite the other ones, how I definitely would like to review them at some point, but I definitely kind of stretching another project, especially with finals coming up, and hopefully in some way I should be able to get to projects I want to do in 2013, but got really overstretched with things then. Okay, so the first one I definitely enjoyed, as well as X2, and as well Last Stand, how I like to hate to find, I used to really enjoy it, but definitely my opinion changed after after seeing First Class, as I mentioned, most stuff like Dark Knight, 8 Saga, and the Avengers and whatnot, and so far, Origins Wolverine, he is only one I really didn't particularly care for. Get into more of that later, and definitely have some choice words with that one. And I really loved First Class, and the Wolverine, which definitely the good Wolverine movie. If you have just read Origins or the Wolverine, see the Wolverine in that. And and definitely he managed to to give a lot of great performances from not only the Xavier, the Patrick Stewart Xavier, as well as Ian McKellen Magneto, but also the counterparts of Stewart, played by James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, who definitely become considerable draws as well, and as well as the Girl on Fire, also playing once again Jennifer Lawrence again playing Mystique, and the Sentinels. Was that I want to hear them on film a very long time, given how they portrayed in comics, thanks to games and cartoons before, but and let me tell you, hey, they did not disappoint with them since um, what used to be. Normally, they and depending on who's writing the story, they can definitely either be used cannon fodder, but in this case, they have to go the option that actually takes multiple of the X Men to take down just one, and, and which does happen sometimes, but not often. And Peter Dinklage, Bolivar Trask, as how he's a very good actor, and that they're definitely playing on a lot of paranoia that's definitely relevant in both the perspective of 1973 as well as today. And definitely, and also, given the film that takes place in the 70s a lot, definitely enjoyed seeing all the old clothes technology, and also so that another big draw is definitely Quicksilver, played by Evan Peters, who's in this one, and not only his voice, and even though I'm not entirely familiar with him in the comics, but since I definitely mentioned before, I'm definitely just a casual comic reader at best, that if his story interests me, I'll pick it up. But I definitely say his performance, as well as his portrayal as Power, is definitely very creative, and I liked his little basement with the Paul arcade game manager play by himself, and also that all these crates of old cupcakes in there, given this promotion they've had, and also they've had hostess a return full force, and for those cupcakes definitely, but that's important right now, I mean, and definitely can say the characterization is also was definitely matched and also possibly beaten the level it's made in the first two films, as well as First Class. How and I think definitely he really shows the most who's not only with the main timeline we've gotten to know over these past 14 years, and also so that in fact I even saw how the first one that came out in 2000 and also the but and given but definitely show most of the First Class timeline, and given James McAvoy has that reveals that he actually used one use of the serum, a prototype of secure serum from the and also the gifted storyline that was partially based on, but it also cost his intellect, and and definitely he both Fassbender's rendition as well as Kim Collins definitely have the tragic Magneto that definitely make the character so interesting to me as a villain and that also and I definitely think really culminates in that big one fight in DC as well as near the end of the film in the main timeline in China, and so these definitely has to be some of the best use of set pieces I've seen, and and also definitely glad that the effects have definitely come so far in the franchise history, being able to depict the Sentinels like this. Is that Danger Room opening of the Last Stand and was nothing like that has nothing on these Sentinels. I will tell you that, and and definitely given how well the film opened, I definitely say I'd be willing to see more entries that is how is and even though that. And they definitely had they planned adapting X-Men Apocalypse in 2016, and with the same director and writers, and that's definitely another one of the big storylines that seems to be wanting to do for some time. And even though Hugh Jackman means might be leaving the franchise after his contract with Fox is up, he has to express interest in doing something even bigger, crush over the Multiverse universe. So as he he mentioned possibly going in toe to toe with the Incredible Hulk like he has done in the past, man. And Halle Berry is still one of my favorite villains of Storm, and even after all this time. So it definitely is a highly recommended film. I definitely expect you to go see it. There's some of the people I follow and what they have, and definitely say it was well worth it. Final rating is 4 out of 4, so that's my final verdict. I'm definitely gonna have a cut here to just talk about the trailers once again. I saw that and upcoming releases that I'd be interested in. Also don't want and also one I don't want to. Okay, so now how it's something I've been doing. Last for entire time when my reviews in theaters 2015. So now I'm definitely gonna do more trailer talk. First up, Godzilla. Yes, it's the reboot of the long-running the Monster Home franchise. He's actually just in time for 60th anniversary. He's a character for his appearance in 1954 classic Gojira, which I'm definitely glad how, as opposed to 98, he remake that one. This actually has direct input from Toho, and two, the emulated dark tone of Gojira definitely making it more a disaster film than the typical monster film, which I think definitely how notice how given what's going on in the world, then I'm speaking from someone who's actually dealing with a lot of things, both on a personal level as well as a nationwide level right now. That even though Pacific Rim definitely had some very good special effects and action scenes, for that sort of thing, and but I definitely did not find a story what I was hoping for, given how I definitely tend to gravitate towards darker ones like Man of Steel, also in the Darkness, as Iron Man 3, and Hunger Games Catching Fire that you're here. That I think catching that's definitely reverse order. That's definitely my among my favorite films of 2013, and definitely and it turns out actually turned to be really good. And I heard that since and some of the other people I saw it liked it, and I definitely still want to see it. And it's gonna be coming to this one, my theater after this one, after X-Men. It's I think I can show one movie a week and it really only shows one movie at a time, and also it generally does if a movie opens, it definitely does a standard 2 weeks to keep it even movie depending whether how it does within that time. And that I can definitely say it actually held quite well in that. And as for performances of the human actors, I can definitely say Bryan Cranston's real. I can never say this, whereas I plan to rewatch Breaking Bad and will start on Netflix. Hal is dead. There is only Walter. Or, that. Also, you have Aaron Johnson, who I definitely appreciate in the Kick-Ass films, playing a military man who's definitely helping him fight the monster, and I'm also definitely glad, I expected genuine glee that even though it's just glimpses of the monster in the promotional material, that thanks to a lot of the merchandise being spoiled as well, how that they actually was resembled Toho's original design, not the infamous CGI Zilla, which does not age all that. And I mean, I saw that movie, the Roland Emmerich one when I was 6, and even though later then I was 6, when I saw it when I was 16, I just said, my word, what the hell was I thinking? That. But even so, that the animated series he's a hair based on is actually pretty good, and that not the old one from the 70s, but this new one in the 90s, which focuses on the monster action as well. That started Iron Fox Kids at the Power Rangers and Spider-Man that didn't last too long thanks to a certain other Japanese iconic Japanese franchise coming into power in that time. But as you can tell from my chapeau, but anyway, also next up, Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh yes, yes, it's going to be the last major one before Age of Ultron comes out next year, and even though I had never heard of the comic before, that just the how out there its premise was has managed to get me interested. How that just speaking with someone, you're looking at someone who regularly posts who's the anime is watching to his channel's Google Plus page just to see how crazy stuff I'm into, and Chris Pratt, who is already definitely a funny and podcast creation that I'm still not sure about the Lego movie. I definitely could plan. I maybe might rent it once it comes out on DVD. But this is definitely going to be one for Case Wars Breaker, well as Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord, where that a space outlaw who gets arrested with a bunch of other group of characters that have in order to get called in to take on a bunch of a galactic threat. And James Gunn has confirmed they're going to be vitally plot Avengers 3, which also cast includes Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, and also she's definitely capable of playing a role like that, given her role in other science fiction films like Avatar, and also her in the alternate reality Star Trek films, which I definitely like, by the way. And Drax the Destroyer, played by WWE's Batista. Even though I definitely can see that wrestlers, even though they definitely theatrics definitely goes a territory with them that in the ring, but with movies, hit or miss. For every Dwayne The Rock Johnson that actually makes a breakout, you get a John Cena, but still, I definitely helps that affects your temples, almost definitely trying to be better than what does it in their faces. And speaking of which, we have Groot, voiced by Vin Diesel, and a walking tree that I find that to be incredibly awesome, since I definitely like Vin Diesel and given how it's essentially like having a slightly smaller ant on your crew, and of course the biggest ones giving most attention, Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper, who is in a grizzled raccoon one that likes guns, huns, and blades, and definitely say he's a member of Bradley Cooper's a member of Wolfpack. Like I would trust most hosts for this sort of thing. In that, even though I definitely still think the first Hangover was the funniest one, on that, apart from the infamous scene, which I definitely had made me very grateful to skip onto my DVD player here. I definitely heard the third one was even worse, but that's not important right now. And all these spectacular action scenes, Haynes and the way they just it's a bunch of interesting and yet definitely not unconventional heroes. But then again, nobody expected a farm boy to pilot a starship and wield a lightsaber to be a great hero. Nobody expected the professor, who's an archaeologist and a pulp hero, to be a great hero either. And the last one is definitely he just they show another Peter to Echo, and still that definitely has the most vibe, but it's been done since. Still getting on one hand, being able to catch vibes of E.T., he, the Goonies, Super 8, H Chronicle, and the last Mimsy. That's on one hand. That's strange other films I saw in there, and ones that you could definitely just wrench there. And that I know that, and oh, it's definitely gonna be something for family film audiences, but I think I'm essentially a pattern that even though the PG-13 means often by no means one of the kids that parents only caution as it would, but it's very typical they're gonna see kids in the audience at some point in those movies where that just depends on how they're gonna be able to handle it. I mean that given how with the first Spider-Man I was 10 when I first saw it, and also the first one I saw in the theater. I mean, another PG-13 movie, but we and with a friend and 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 but I think he could definitely still, but generally find it better for kids to be a bit younger in that sense. But again, it definitely was around that age when I was got into the X-Men, and that around 8 or so, which definitely tends to be quite common. And even though, but anyway, that's all I was saying for now. The comments box below. I shall see you later.